Turns out the fifth time is the charm. Hello, everybody. This is Master of Vitae with once without my glasses, and for a rare daytime recording because I couldn't stop to think and go, wow, what should I really think and formulate? I decided to just wing it. So we just got back from seeing First Steps, The Fantastic Four, or however you wish to describe the title. But for once, they actually did something good, and not just good. I actually liked it because even though I like Thunderbolts, I walked out thinking there's still a few issues that they ironed out because I criticize pretty much everything that I watch when I go to the theater and even stream because I want films to always be better than they actually are, and it's a curse, but it's one that I've accepted more or less. But when I was watching this today in the theaters, I wasn't expecting to set the world on fire, but when I actually finally sat down and watched this, I was surprised. I was actually invested in the characters, their struggles. It kind of took the beginning of this film is literally the 2005 film. You know how kind of they go up, they get their powers, people react, the world reacts, but then we get to the good stuff. See, here it just goes, well, you've already seen that multiple times in these kind of films. So let's just take this, we'll skip over it like a stone across a pond, and we'll just watch it. We'll watch the good stuff. We'll get to the stuff that actually matters. And lo and behold, with strong performances across the board, with a director who seems like he actually knows what he's doing, with a writing staff that can use humor without it over complicating the story or undermining tension, but with a good overarching plot that is both simple but well told. We got the big Galactus menace coming our way, the Silver Surfers telling us we're all going to die, and then we got to kick him down. And therefore is something that really we can't fight, let alone fathom. So it is a punch up movie, but it's so well done. And it's not even the 50s motif because I'm a sucker for Fallout and that retro futuristic nature. But the way that they use it, performances across the board were great. I'm looking at him right now. Pedro Pascal, he has officially won me back after me giving him some criticism for The Last of Us 2 for barely being in it and at times phoning it in, it felt like, compared to the first season. But yeah, basically they were good across the board performance wise. I didn't think anyone was really phoning it in, despite the inherently silly nature of the Fantastic Four. I still felt like most of this was well put together. There was just a tiniest bit of maybe I was getting CGI whiplash, but I always get that in these movies. So far, this film is grossing in. It has made its money back already. And I know it took me a little bit of time to see it, but honestly, I was kind of Thunderbolts wasn't exactly something that blew me out of the water, but I felt like it was a good step towards the right direction. Ironically, this is called First Steps, but to actually care about the characters and actually kind of walk out of it going, wow, I actually want to see that again because most Marvel films, I'd say for the past 10 years, I have not seen or I have watched once and have not felt this urge to go and watch again. Hell, they're doing flashback cinema at my cinema not too long in the future. They're redoing Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, extended cuts, because that's the only way to watch them, and the Spider Man original trilogy from Sam Raimi's collection. And those films, despite having kind of a silliness to them, I've watched them multiple times because they have such personality. And this has personality as well. And I find in the increasingly corporatized nature of filmmaking, this is actually a massive step in the right direction. Unlike the last film, which came out 10 years ago. Wow, I feel old. The Josh Trent. The hell was his name? I don't even know. Josh Trank. Yeah, I hated that movie. Like, with a passion. It was boring and sad and kind of just blech. You can't make these characters need to be kind of silly inherently. It's a living rock man and a Stretch Armstrong doll. You're not gonna get super serious with this unless you really know how to do tone. And this film is a combination. It's more serious than the 2005 one, but it's less serious than the 2015 one in the sense that you don't want to cut your wrist while you're watching it, but you're not constantly going, guys, can we just maybe get a little serious and actually care? That's how kind of how hard a sell I am. So the fact that we actually had something come out and it was actually interesting and I cared about it, the characters and the plot, and the fact that they didn't make Galactus actually stupid. He actually looked really menacing, and the scale of everything was well done. You know, buildings shaking and glass shattering and cars getting punted across the way because literally he's a cosmological being basically. The fact that they actually have like a good team, the writers were good, and the plot was simple, but like the everyone showed up to work. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like everyone was here just for a paycheck. And despite like as soon as the 1950s Marvel Comics logo showed up, I went, okay, you are clearly trying to distance yourself from the rest of the MCU, and I appreciate that because I feel like while all these films can be connected, over connectivity can wear on a lot of people. And I wasn't one of these people that hated the MCU after the whole Infinity War got done. I've always been kind of off and on with these films. I watch movies for movies. I watched Death of a Unicorn just the other day, and it was terrible. And I didn't even pay to go see it, and it was terrible because I every film I've seen, if the budget's $12,000, 12 million, 120 million, 500 million, whatever, I always go and have my say. It's the same rule book for every single film. Do I care? Did I like it? If it was stupid, was it enjoyable? You know, that's the thing. You have to have a universal concept of how you review films. And with something like this hit most of my checklist. So the fact that I walked out of a Marvel film going, I actually felt moved by some of this. I couldn't believe it because it goes against everything. This movie had everything going against it. Bad past adaptations, fan backlash for certain castings, and certain changes made to certain characters. A villain who I thought was almost impossible to make intimidating because his very look is kind of silly. He's a giant purple pimp walking around the city. So it's a little, there's a level of disbelief that you have to get over, but if you are a good storyteller and a good seller, you can make even something kind of otherworldly or out there seem relatable or at least investable with your emotions. So while I am not exactly, I'm not like salivating to go see Doomsday. Like I'll probably go and see it just because it is the next big lineup. But we are now entering a time where we are once again almost kind of back in phase one, where these films aren't going to make money just because they're Marvel property. They're going to make they're going to make more movies and they're going to make money if they're good. The goodwill has been tarnished too much, so now we have to have movies that are not only marketable but also good on their own merits. And this film is indeed a film in the 37th film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Go and see this one, guys, because if you like the Fantastic Four, if you like comic books, you're going to like it. But if you are like me and you just want to go see a good movie that makes you actually care about its characters and maybe not the deepest plot, but still a good and well told plot, go and see this movie. You know, it's nice. It's a blazing hot week right now. It's 97 degrees out with the heat index of like 105. So going to the movies is about the only thing that we could have done today. So yes, I give this, I would make some smarmy joke about it being a 4 out of 10, but I'm not going to do that. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 because every one of these people I absolutely loved watching today. That's been my 2 cents, and I'll see you guys in the next review. And enjoy that nice hot day. Can't wait till it cools down. Take care.